all the DJs say this one's on its way. Number one.
You're listening to From Studio 1A.
Gettysburg.
Addressing Gettysburg.
The popular podcast addressing Gettysburg.
Ew.
Yes, sir.
Addressing Gettysburg.
Oh, exactly.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Today is what? The 10th of May, 2021. Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord, etc., etc. And we have so much to get to today. The first thing we're going to get to, we've talked about this before, and now it is time. It is the moment of truth. We are going to introduce you to someone who you've heard about on a lot of the Ask a Guides, and if you're a patron, some of the Patreon shows. She's sat in, she's asked questions before. She is a sponge. She is thirsty for knowledge and water as well, like any other sponge would be. And so, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, you are here now going to meet the great, the one, the only Veronica Brestensky, Esquire.
Thank you. Quite an introduction. My God.
Veronica is going to sit in as a female co-host for the show. Now, I don't know, Veronica, I first approached you about doing this back in, I think it was the fall, right? I feel like it was cold and we were walking on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
Right.
right. Up on the first day's field, if I remember correctly.
And I said to you, Veronica, I want to do a live show that talks about Gettysburg today. What's going on event-wise, what's going on with the businesses, what's going on with our show, and all these other things. And I want there to be a female voice on the show on the regular as a co-host because, I think we need it. There are not a lot of...
Someone needs to keep you boys in line.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Someone needs to keep us in line. Someone needs to be the voice of reason on the show.
You got the wrong person then. Maybe I'm not sure I can live up to that. But.
Well, luckily we're in a day and age now where people will only see that you're a woman, and no matter what you say, they will say, well, that's the voice of reason because she's a woman. So we're lucky.
All right. Well, those are my kind of people, so that works.
Exactly.
If they think I'm always right, I'm on board.
So you thought about it for a while, right? You said, well, I don't know if I really want to do that. You're an idiot. A couple of other things you said about me that I didn't really like at the time, but turned out to be true.
No one blames you for that, by the way.
Thank you for thank you. You did come around though. You called me one day and you said, I think if you were serious, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
And so we had to sit in on some other shows, kind of see how it goes. I sent you some examples of what I'm looking for, and here we are now.
Well, basically, the example, I'm sure Eric knows, the example that you sent to me of what you're looking for is an African-American woman. So I don't know how you settled on me, but...
Well...
What was it, Stern?
Yeah.
Well, because...
And she's funny, so
Robin does a great job. Yes, she does a great job. She's the only sane one there, and so it works. But the thing is, she pushes through. That's the thing about Robin. That was so great. But no, yeah. So All right. No, all joking aside, I'm excited to be part of the crew. Hope I can add something to it. I'm particularly excited that I can add something that's not the typical addressing Gettysburg kind of stuff, because I'm by no means, you all will find out very quickly, I'm not an expert on the Civil War. I'm certainly not an expert on the battle or the names or anything like that. So if I can add something to it about the goings-on of town and what's going on right now, I would love to do that. That's why I have you on this one.
Awesome.
And not the that's why I Bob is going to come back as the co-host on the other one because he's the guide. And so, but yeah, no, this one we're going to do, it'll always have a foot or a pinky toe at least in history. But it's not going to be upon any of us to present it. It's always going to be like we do with the other ones. We'll have some kind of expert on or whatever. But it'll all be in relation to what's going on today in the town, events and all that other stuff. You'll see, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see what we're talking about. And hopefully along the way, it'll be entertaining. We're not officially launching this yet, the show. We're still kind of feeling it out, and I'm still trying to get an idea for it in my head, exactly how to structure it and all that other stuff. So we're feeling it out. We're just doing this because it's fun. Like we were just, it's fun to talk to the audience. It's fun to interact with them, give away, prizes of unspeakable value and other things like that.
Right.
So we got old Ronnie here now. No, I shouldn't say old. You're younger than me. So
by a few days at least.
Young Ronnie. All right, so let's see. What are some of the things that I want to get to first with you guys? Okay, we'll get show stuff out of the way. So we've got Veronica here. We did that. Now, the website, addressinggettysburg.com. We have a blog on there. Anybody that is interested in being a contributor to the blog, please let us know. We are always looking for contributors. You don't really need to be bona fide with anything. Of course, that helps. But some people just like to research and they like to write about what they research. And maybe they make a Facebook post out of it or an Instagram post out of it. Well, why not make it a blog post and let it sit up there as a record on addressinggettysburg.com. Who knows where it'll lead for you, or maybe it'll just be the satisfaction of writing something and contributing to this growing thing that we have going on here. Eric, do you want them to email you, or should I have them? What should we have them do?
Just email info@addressinggettysburg.com. That way it goes to both of us.
All right, there you go. info@addressinggettysburg.com, and then one of us will answer it. And at that point, we'll do a little talking with you, let you know what you want to. It's very simple. It just has to do anything with Gettysburg. It doesn't need to be necessarily about the Battle of Gettysburg. It just has to have something to do with Gettysburg. For our patrons out there, Jim Hessler and I did that show about the Little Bighorn ties to the Battle of Gettysburg. Maybe we spent 3.5 minutes talking about the Little Bighorn ties, and then with the rest of it, we just talked about the Little Bighorn because we just wanted to talk about the Little Bighorn. But we figured out a way to do it. So that's all you really need to do. You just need to figure out some tiny little tie to something related to Gettysburg, the Battle of Gettysburg, whatever. We will we'll set you up with a folder on Google Drive, and you just upload stuff to that, and then let us know when you have something, and then we give it over to our web guy, and he schedules it, and it gets posted. So far, we've had 6 from Lewis Trott and 2 from Ty DeWitt.
Nice.
So I think the second one either came out this week or will next week or something like that.
And I'm seeing some volunteers already. The great Trinetti is volunteering to do some blogs.
Oh, well, there you go. The great Trinetti. Very good. I'll do all your blogs, he says. Well, I only have one. But that's good, Trinetti. If you want to do that, info@addressinggettysburg.com. Anybody else who wants to do it absolutely can do that as well, of course, and so on and so forth. Oh boy, let's see. Let's get some good news here. For those of you that come down on the weekends, farmers market is open.
And I saw on Facebook that the farmers market actually expanded a little bit, at least in their opening week this past Saturday, from what they had offered last year. Someone actually posted that there was a Mexican food truck. That was something totally new. Pretty exciting. I can speak from, I wasn't there this past Saturday, but last year they had everything from meat vendors and fresh produce markets. I think there was...
They had weed.
Oh, I missed that.
Well, they had hemp,
Yeah, CBD or something like that, probably.
But they had little hemp joints.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. No, it was interesting. I was like, I don't get it. I don't get that world.
I got to be honest, I don't either. I didn't think you could smoke hemp. I didn't think it did anything. But I've never really
Your
researched
guess
that.
is as good as
I
mine.
reckon you can smoke it, but I don't know that it's actually going to get you anywhere.
You don't want to smoke it. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, and I asked the guy a bunch of questions because I'm always interested to learn about things I don't know about, and see maybe there's something for me in that world. But I remember years ago I tried CBD for my anxiety, and it did absolutely nothing. Just gave me more anxiety because it wasn't working.
Right. And there's fewer dollars in your pocket.
Well,
too,
and that's the thing. They're like, well, you need a higher dosage. I'm like, this is $100.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like 50 milliliters or milligrams or whatever, and that's nothing. I needed like 3,000, which was like $500.
I know when when Pennsylvania passed the legislation that there could be growers and stuff here, I know it was all the rage, but I haven't really followed more in terms of if it's actually been profitable for the growers and the planters and things like that, or whether it's kind of, well, when it first was okayed, it was, I mean, literally on every other corner you could find a CBD shop, right?
Yeah.
Or someone that was like every little gift shop was selling.
Or gas station.
Right,
Yeah.
Everybody had a display of it, so... and I don't think it was really regulated, so who knows what the heck they were actually putting in there or whatever in terms of doses or lack thereof, but interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm jealous of people that like marijuana. I've said it. I'm jealous of them because I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. And people live for the stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm not jealous because I don't want to live for a substance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
maybe I'm not. I don't know.
I don't know. There's definitely some folks you could talk to about all the intricacies of.
Oh God!
There's what this Steva and this, and there's different types and what they're all supposed to do. I don't.
These words I can't even remember at the moment. Yes, it's what. And then all this terminology, skunk, and.
Well, I think that's a reference to not good.
Is it? Is that
Skunk
not
weed?
good? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
skunk,
pretty sure
I guess.
skunk
I
weed
don't
got
know.
burned.
Eric, have you heard?
It's what do you ask me?
I don't know. I just said, if you've heard from
It's swag.
swag. That's the bad stuff, right?
Okay.
Yeah, swag is garbage weed.
And then there's different strains of it, right?
Well, yeah, it's a plant, so you can manipulate it to get whatever you need to out of that particular breed. And there's two basic, like, chemical compounds in marijuana that do two completely different things. There's CBD,
Right.
which is a nerve blocker,
Right.
which helps with physical pain.
Yeah.
And
Supposedly.
then there's THC, which is
Psycho.
oh my God. Yeah, it's a psychotropic.
Yeah.
And so that gives you the feeling of euphoria.
Not me.
Right.
Paranoia was all I got out of it.
there's different strains that will do different things depending on what you need out of it.
So can so you can make something that's stronger in CBD.
Yeah, you
and-
can. There are strains of marijuana that have almost no THC in them. They're incredibly heavy in CBD, and that's like, you have horrible joint pain.
Right.
Like that'll help you out.
I wonder, does it really, I've always been skeptical. Does it really help with these things, or is this things that Pothead said it does so that we can make it legal, at least in a medical sense?
Well, but then counterproductive would be the medical profession actually saying that yes. I mean, they think about this. In the states where it's legalized, they testified and they actually brought evidence to say that it for example, helps with seizures or whatever.
I've seen videos of that. Yeah.
So there must be something to it.
Probably.
There's probably some folks that use it that don't really need it. But there's recreational uses of marijuana, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I don't know. Yeah. I honestly, I don't think it should be regulated at all.
I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard of anybody, committing the types of crimes they do, even with alcohol, for example, right? In terms of you get upset at a bar because you're smoking too much weed and you punch the guy next to you. I've never really heard that
Never
story.
heard of somebody
It's really hard to get yourself involved in serious crime if you're lost in a bathtub.
Right. With a bag of Doritos.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah. And yeah. I don't know. I kind of think look, let everybody get high on whatever they want to get high on, and that's less competition in the world for those of us who want to work and be productive. So go ahead, get high, waste away.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I always went with the get high on love, campaign.
There you go. Get high on love, man. Yes, let's get high on love.
The world would be so much nicer.
Hugs, not drugs.
Right. Anyway. It's like Matt's dating life. Just say no. That was the old Reagan.
Oh man.
Zing!
Oh, man.
All right, that's the first one.
That was the first one.
That's the first one, ladies
sticker.
and gentlemen. Put that one on like a mark there.
What was the other thing now I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah. So a while ago, it wasn't a while ago. It was like one or two of these shows ago. We were talking, Eric, you and I, and Camp Letterman came up. What were we talking about that made us talk about Camp Letterman? Do you recall?
I don't know.
We were talking about something preservation-wise, and then we were wondering, how come there hasn't been much done to try to preserve Camp Letterman? And literally that night, I'm home. It was like somewhat warm, and I'm sitting out on my porch, and my neighbor comes walking over. And he likes to chew my ear off about various things every once in a while. And he comes over and he just starts going in on Camp Letterman. And why isn't anybody trying to save Camp Letterman and the Battlefield Trust? And why aren't they doing this? And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know. And he pulls out these photocopies, which he then made photocopies of for me to talk about here. And there's somebody recently, let's see, what day was this here? Where's the date? I don't know. Oh, April 9th, 2021. So this is about a month ago. This is from the letter to the editor. It says, Save Camp Letterman. And by the way, this isn't written by my neighbor. This is written by a guy named Dan Siderio. And he says, Camp Letterman Hospital was established in July of 1863 in order to accommodate upwards of 20,000 wounded men, both Union and Confederate, from the Battle of Gettysburg. Over 1,000 died at Camp Letterman. It has existed as a part of America's Civil War history for 158 years. Now, suddenly, there's a desperate need for this ground to have apartments, a grocery store, or a convenience store with gas pumps. Anyone who is interested in preserving this location should contact President David N. Duncan, American Battlefield Trust / Civil War Trust, 1156 15th Street, Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20005. Or you can email info@battlefields.org. Tell them that you support an effort to save Camp Letterman as part of Gettysburg Historic Hallowed Ground. This is Dan Siderio. So, now we were talking about this, and I think you made the point that Battlefield Trust only really does battlefields, not...
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would really do the trick. However,
I don't think that really falls into their purview, and since they've picked up all battlefields in the U.S. now, not just Civil War.
Right. They got to be careful of which ones they go after.
They've got 3 other wars that they're trying to buy up land for.
Oh, sure. Well, not to be negative Nellies, we're going to still, look, people out there do care about Camp Letterman. And I do think it's kind of strange that on a road full of strip malls, that there's this one field right next to a grocery store and a gas station, and not too far away from another gas station, that we really do we really need all of this stuff? Because what's going to go in there? You want to hear the details of what's going to go in there, Veronica?
Of course I do.
Oh, let me tell you then. Let's see. Okay. The schematic site plan shows 244 apartments in 12 buildings, plus a clubhouse and 2 commercial buildings on about 30 acres. The vacant land is on the southern side of Route 30 between the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel and the Michael's Craft Store. A marker stands there, blah, blah, blah. It's Metropolitan Development Group of Wyomissing. They presented a concept, or the concept, to the Strabane Township Board of Supervisors, who I believe voted to approve it unanimously.
I think the Strabane Township Board voted to allow them to do the proposal or the investigation. I don't think it's, if I read that correctly, just so there's not a misunderstanding.
Let me find the part in here that said that, and I'll let you know. Let's see. Without taking any stand regarding the proposal, the supervisors voted 3-0 to permit Metropolitan to initiate the process of potentially changing the ordinance.
Right.
It's an ordinance. Okay.
I think a lot of stuff goes into those kinds of proposals, right? Like you have to study the traffic and this and that, and if there's any impact on the wildlife, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's, even though that's a proposal, it sounds like a very specific one. It sounds like it's probably in its infancy in terms of where we're at with that right now. Matter of fact, we just drove past, my mom and I were in the car yesterday, and we drove past on Route 30, and there's still a for sale / lease sign right at that piece of property.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
But anyway.
And the current ordinance, it says here, reflects the townhome-oriented market of the 1990s when it was drafted, rather than the present-day popularity of garden apartments. So I guess they have to change the ordinance to fit that in there.
You know why I'm not getting up in arms about this?
Why is that? Because there's already a giant right next door?
That property has been available for like almost 20 years now. And no one has bought it in the name of preservation. So now that somebody wants to do something with it, we're going to lose our minds over it. Because
it's very typical. You're right.
It's a patch of weeds at this point. Nobody ever I've never once in 20 years of coming to Gettysburg seen somebody out tromping around in that field looking for the remnants of Camp Letterman. Because they're not there.
They're not there.
They're under the giant parking lot next door. Like, you already missed your chance.
Well, I mean,
like, you've had 20 years worth of chances to buy it.
Yeah.
Why is it all of a sudden
why wasn't it a big deal when Giant was being built?
I'm sure
where were the
was,
people
but
fighting
that's been
that?
there for,
but they lost.
Since I was like a teenager.
They lost. Yeah. And they it's so typical, like,
it's not a problem until it becomes a problem. Like, it's
not a problem until you're ready to lose it, and then it's like everybody fights it, but you always fight it too late. And I think part of it is because the process is already well underway by the time it's in the news.
Sure.
And I think they do that on purpose so that people don't.
Well, yeah, that wasn't an article about, hey, come to the commissioner's building because we're going to have a hearing on this. It was hey, there was a hearing, and this is what the commissioners allowed right now.
This is what you missed.
Sure,
yeah. While you were watching Honey Boo Boo and eating tasty cakes, this is what you missed. So maybe the whole idea of it is to be a little bit more proactive against these things, and not wait until it's already a foregone conclusion that that's going to be gone.
It's kind of sad because if you even think, say the Battlefield Trust or some other entity comes along with probably a lot of money, because it's a commercial district right now, there's probably a lot of potential value in that property, right? But somebody comes along, they preserve it. How do you actually interpret it when you're basically surrounded by everything?
Yeah.
That, I mean, you can't see anything but the buildings and the structures.
Would
and the
it
cars.
be interpreted?
Right.
No, or would it just sit there?
Would it just sit there as a patch of weeds with a bronze tablet?
I'm less bothered by them building over it because it's Camp Letterman, and more like, what is the frickin' point? Like, I remember when I first lived here and the casino was the big deal, and all the NIMBYs that were against it were bringing up, they were throwing every issue against the wall to see what would stick, right? Crime, prostitution, poverty, like basically Back to the Future 2 is what they were describing. And and then they would talk about water. Do we have enough water? Wow. Well, where are these people now? Do we have enough water for another, 200 and something apartments? And why do we really need another? And do we really need another grocery store? Right. We've got Giant, we've got Weiss, we've got Kenny's. They're doing fine. They serve us well. We don't need anything more. We don't need more gas stations. We've got Sheets on two ends of town, which are wonderful. I love Sheets. I'm a big fan of Sheets.
Two Sheets on the same end of town.
Two Sheets on the same end of town.
Yeah, they're both on the west end. They're both right on 15. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it kind of curls around. It's like south and west.
They're both legitimately right off of an exit for 15.
Yeah. I always go south on 97.
If they were proposing another McDonald's, I'd be concerned. But
well, we got one on each end of town.
Yeah, that I know. Yeah.
We got,
Well,
at least two.
if the township supervisors or these developers are taking any suggestions and they approve this plan, I would vote for a Chipotle. I'm a little bit of a sucker for a Chipotle, so.
But wait a second.
I'll sell my soul for a good bowl.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is what I want. And can we get a Planet Fitness, please?
Oh,
Because
boy,
a Planet
okay.
Fitness would be great because it would be a cheaper gym.
Yeah.
You know.
In fairness,
So that way when
we have
I'm-
the
when I-
Y and they do really good work here in town.
But they
I
do
understand what
great.
you're
They
saying.
do
It's
great.
different.
They are fantastic. It's just Planet Fitness is cheaper and they have tanning beds, and it helps me in the summer to not get depressed, or in the winter to not get depressed and go to the gym and lay in a tanning bed and pretend that I'm working out.
I don't know, guys. It sounds like we should actually just like help
Open
out
a
the
Planet Fitness.
Yeah, like help out the planning commission
Yeah,
and
I
just
know.
do this ourselves here. We got it all covered.
Well, now my question is this: the strip mall there with the Taco Hell and the what's the bread place, Panera.
Which is closed. I'm not really sure what's going on. I tried
Closed
to order-
down, or
Is it really?
No, we tried to place an order today for a lunch. I wanted to get a salad to try to be healthy, right? So any excuse will do not to do that.
Sure.
But I actually legit tried to go online and order a salad, and the first orders they are taking are Wednesday morning. So something's going on where they're closed down today and tomorrow. So I'm not sure if it's just a shortage of employees, like a lot of the places are experiencing, or if there was a breakout of COVID in that particular facility, or
maybe,
what. But
maybe.
we even tried to call, and there was no update on the voicemail either. So it's just shut down today and tomorrow. So,
Mike Lentz votes for Chick-fil-A because then he can
Oh, yeah.
transfer and he can live here in Gettysburg.
there you go.
And Bill Pike says there was an LBG that gave a presentation on Letterman recently. Maybe a good podcast. Yeah, that would be good, Bill. Can you get the name of the person, or we'll find out the name? Don't worry about it. We've got our ways.
Do we?
No, but it sounds good.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. Well, my question about that shopping center with the Panera is every storefront occupied?
No.
Okay,
most
so
of them are unoccupied.
So what do we need to build? Why don't we occupy?
I don't know what their pricing is.
We had this problem in Parsippany back in New Jersey. Okay, there was this place called the Parsippany Plaza. It was built, I'm going to say in the late 80s. Now, I could be wrong because I haven't lived there in a while, but I believe it only was finally occupied within the last 10 years. I'll be generous and say 15 years. So it sat there without ever having a business in it for almost 20 years after it was built.
Wow.
And it was like a joke. Now, there could be some reason, some legal holdup or I don't know what, but whatever. It's just another example of building all this stuff, and then it's like nothing. There's nothing that goes in there. So why aren't we waiting until something fills up and there's no more room?
Right. And I think, Eric's kind of talking about everybody kind of panicking right now. This is just the proposal. Like I said, I think it's very early in its conception stages. Who knows? This development group might come in here, do this study, and say, we don't think we have the population to support another building. I mean, it's too much money to reroute traffic.
Well,
and
the
add extra.
problem is that this is becoming like a bedroom town for people that work in D.C. and Baltimore and Frederick. Like they're all living up here.
Yeah.
I hate to sound like a not in my backyard, but
Yeah.
not in my backyard, folks. Okay. I mean, look at these neighborhoods that are all over the place. I mean, this is neighborhoods going up, and it's sad.
God forbid people live somewhere.
No, here.
And
God
add
forbid
to
they
the
live
tax
here.
base.
I don't care about the tax base. Just get away from me and my battlefield. It's louder here than it was when I first moved away. I don't remember. 15 was always loud, but all the other noise. There's just a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just getting old and I can't handle it.
Well, there's definitely
I
that.
think it's
Yeah,
I think
I'm
you're
like
getting old.
intolerant of noise.
Yeah.
Motorcycles. And now these electric cars.
Where does he live?
Right
On
by the
college
college.
campus,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to live across the street from the college. It's definitely going to be quiet here.
No, that wasn't the thought. It was like the cheapest.
I wonder why.
No. Everybody else is way more. It's like double what I pay, but I found a good deal because I manage it. So I'm
Suckers.
half the rent. Yeah, exactly. While you're paying full, I'm
Yeah.
skating.
And he gets a title out of that. He's a manager. My
Exactly,
God.
and I know nothing about it.
Jeez, oh man.
So
Tell me about it. I had to
Yeah.
do your electric.
Exactly. Well, all I really do as a manager is just call somebody who knows how to do electric. So I could have called someone else.
Jim Hessler actually suggested that it is actually licensed battlefield guide Phil Lechak that might be, or Lechak. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name.
Is Jim in here?
I think I've always heard
hey,
it as
Jim.
Lechak.
Lechak.
Jim, I was just talking about our little Bighorn episode.
Yeah. Bill Pike confirmed that that's who he was talking about the Letterman presentation recently. So thank you guys.
Well, perfect. That works out. All right, you want to get to some sad news?
Unfortunately, there's been a little bit of that.
There's been some sad news in town here, ladies and gentlemen. You remember a couple of weeks ago, well, maybe a month ago, that was, that there was this horrible accident at Sheetz where a man was pinned against a fuel pump from I think it was a pickup truck, right? Well, a pickup truck hit another truck or car.
Yeah, it was bad.
Stephen Wald or Waldy, I hope I didn't. Well, it's one of those. I'm not sure which one. 70. He died at 1:41 p.m. at Wellspan York Hospital, according to a release issued by the county coroner. And the cause of death was not yet determined, and that is sad. That is sad. Michael Carter, 49, of Gettysburg, remained at Adams County Prison Thursday in lieu of $100,000 cash bail, according to the magisterial docket. Numerous charges against him, including felony counts of aggravated assault by vehicle while driving under the influence and fleeing to avoid apprehension, according to the docket. Veronica, you're an attorney. I mean, what does that mean? All that stuff that I just read there, those words.
So without looking at the article, I think the fact that he's still at the Allegheny County, I'm having flashbacks to my old life, at the Adams County Jail. It sounds like that was the initial bond that was set just for the accident alone, and obviously our condolences on behalf of the podcast to the Waldy family. But now that he's passed. I'm going with
okay.
Waldy. Waldy family, I'm sorry. Now that he has actually succumbed to injuries that are presumably going to be tied to that accident, I would anticipate the defendant's going to be looking at some other charges, potentially mandatory sentences. I don't want to speculate because I don't know. I don't have the police report or anything like that. But what I did remember reading was that, the accident happened, he fled the scene, that's a felony charge. And then if they're saying it's DUI related, that's potentially problematic. So it's just kind of tragic the whole way around.
Yeah, it's awful. Why can't people just drink at home? I don't understand it. All right. So the Spangler Farm, we were out there. Spangler Farm, beautiful place. Right? I mean, they did a really great job with that barn.
It's gorgeous.
It really is.
And I don't have a lot of expertise about the interiors of barns, but the little bit that I'm familiar with, that one is beyond well preserved. I was shocked when Ron told us that was the original floorboards.
Yes.
Right? Did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
That's wild. That's really wild. This is cool.
It's beautiful. And like I said to him down in the lower level, like the dirt is even clean.
Yeah, right.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So the Spangler Farm apparently hosted student builders and videographers not too long ago. And let's see here. It's the building trades youth. They came to learn a little bit, and the camera crew came to record the story. And after 6 hours there, they left feeling satisfied, Veronica. That's what it says in the newspaper. They know. I don't know how this person knows, but they must have asked them all. It's the Gettysburg Foundation in historic Gettysburg, Adams County, co-hosted the educational experience, benefiting 2 programs at the Adams County Technical Institute. Building trade student. That's pretty cool. Like, I would love to learn how to do old-timey stuff. Like,
sounds like too much work.
Well, I mean, it looks like here, like, no. See, they are using a circular saw here. So, I mean, they're using some modern stuff, but they're using like old timey type of wood.
Oh.
Not this modern.
Oh yeah,
not the modern wood.
breeds of wood.
Yes.
All the new species.
No. The way they cut them. You know what I'm talking about, smartass. The way they cut them back then. Those floorboards in the barn.
Construction techniques.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Construction techniques. That's what I would like to learn. And by like to learn, I mean, it's like I'd like to see someone else do the work.
Okay, that's the bottom line.
But I'd like to learn. I'd like to learn what they're doing.
Yeah, I see.
Just based on the experience with this little shed.
Exactly. I was studying you.
Is that what it was?
I was studying you so that someday I might be able to direct someone else as to how to do this.
Oh, okay.
See, Eric, it all comes full circle. That title of manager that he has at the property, it's going right to his head. That's
Yes.
overseer. I
Everywhere
think
over.
Hello, exactly.
Oh boy.
Tough crowd. Hey, while we're on the George Spangler farm, let me
Go
throw
for
this
it.
out there. Family Day at the Spangler farm, officially May 29th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Not only do you get to see the farm and the buildings, there's going to be, I think, ice cream like they normally have, and some
Mr. G's?
I'm not sure if it's Mr. G's this year again or not. It was last year for sure. I think Ron mentioned Mr. G's. I don't want to hold them to that. But there's definitely normally artillery demonstrations and living historians, medical living historians too. So it's a really interesting and neat experience if y'all are in town. I would definitely hit that up, and I do believe it is
So you've done it
before.
Yeah. And what do they do?
So with COVID, normally you'd have to take a bus out there, right, from the visitor center. But
Right.
with COVID, you just drive right out to the property. The volunteers help park you, get everybody lined up, and then you literally just walk the grounds. You have free reign. The house is not open, but the summer kitchen where General Armistead and some others were located is available to look through. The barn itself is available. Like I said, there are living historians and reenactors there. The last 2 times we went, I believe they definitely had artillery demonstrations, so that was kind of neat for the kids. Ice cream. Ron Kirkwood was there the one time signing books, which was pretty cool to meet him.
Yeah.
And then there are definitely some docents that volunteer with the Gettysburg Foundation that are very schooled in the history of the George Spangler farm, and they can really give you a nice little overview of what you're looking at and why it was important during the battle and afterwards.
I loved it out there. It's just
gorgeous.
really gorgeous. Yeah, it is. And I've never been out there before, so I haven't been to any events or anything like that. And I've wanted to do it, but I just this whole the schedule of it not being always open, and then of course when I think about it and it is open, or when I find out that it is open, I'm doing something else and I don't have the time to do it. And then when I have nothing to do on that particular weekend, it's not open and it's so confusing, and I gave up after a while. And so it was nice to make the connection with Ron and have him take us out there. I love talking to him about it anyway. Like he's very passionate about it, and he's a really nice guy. It was great of him to get us out there to see it. And I don't know, I kind of like getting like special access to stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but I kind of like that as opposed to being part of the unwashed masses. I don't want to do that. Yeah. So it was nice to be able to go there on our own. And
We're all learning so much today. Matt likes using tanning beds in the winter. And he also likes having his ass kissed.
Yes. Yeah. Well, not ass kissed, but tickled. Do you hear about this driver, this Blazer that hit? What the hell did it do? Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you could help them find this guy. Cumberland Township Police are searching for the driver who struck a pole on the 900 block of Table Rock Road Saturday night and fled the scene. A 1998 Chevy Blazer. I had one of those in 2001 or something. I don't remember when it was that I had it, but I didn't like it. Anyway, he struck a utility pole. What?
Apparently, neither did this guy.
Yeah, I know by the looks of it. It struck a utility pole at about 8:50 p.m. And the driver fled the scene. There were beer bottles everywhere in the car. That's a quote.
No, that must be a mistake.
There were beer bottles everywhere in the car, Eicher said. This is the patrolman, Ryan Eicher, leading him to believe that the driver had been drinking. You don't say. You don't say.
Specialized
officer.
training for the officers here in town. That's
The driver had not been found as of Sunday evening. The crash caused about 90 residents to lose power. So if you have information on the driver, you should call 717-334-8101 and ask for Cumberland Township Police. By the way, if you have a friend who had a 1998 Chevy Blazer but no longer does, and you go, hey, where's your Blazer? Maybe it's this guy.
Also, if he's seen walking down the street and beer bottles are falling out of his pockets, that might be another clue, apparently. I'm not really
The
sure.
visual
might
of
be-
that makes me laugh so hard. You open the door and all these bottles come falling out. He's like, you know what? I think he might be drinking.
Do they just not know who it was?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. You would think
Like,
you'd run the
there's-
registration or something.
there's
Well,
license plate.
Did they have
numbers.
VINs back then in the 90s? I don't remember. Of course they
Oh,
did.
God.
Yeah, that's a good part. That's a good. Well, now I
I mean,
wonder.
it's not.
I
Hey,
mean,
look, the
either
defense
that or-
attorney is coming out
Go.
here because I can loan my car to somebody, right?
Exactly.
So that's
That's
not
what I
a
was
be all
gonna
end all.
say.
But you would think they're going to be shitting their pants
But
if
if
a
I-
cop comes and says, "Hey, your car was just totaled and it's
Yeah,
blazing.
exactly.
It's literally ablaze
You're-
down the road. Like who had access to it?" You think you're probably going to get to it. You know, the end of the issue pretty quickly. You would think.
But looking at this, I don't know if this will show up on the camera, but for the sake of people who haven't seen this,
There it is.
let me see. Is it? Can you
Oh,
see
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Look at how mangled that is.
Whoever was driving is actually, all joking aside, it appears they're pretty darn lucky that they were able to run away from that.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, with that much beer in you, I'm sure you probably were just like rubber when you
Gumby.
hit. I mean, look at that. And he had to be covered in shards of glass. I don't know. Let me give you that number again in case you know who it is. 717-334-8101. Give them a call and
and then give them my number.
then yeah, right, there you go.
No, just kidding.
Are you not allowed to do that?
No, I don't know. I can. You can definitely. I mean, I don't know who it is, obviously, so I don't have
No,
any,
but I mean,
don't have
are
any
you
insider
allowed?
information.
Because you have a job
I do.
as an attorney, as a defense attorney,
yeah.
and with the state.
No,
with the county.
with Franklin County, I have a contract, but it's
But you're allowed to privately practice as well.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think a lot of people get confused about that.
Go, tell
As
us.
a defense attorney, you're only in private practice, right? You're either a public defender or you're in private practice with a contract or something like that, because it's the other side. It's the prosecutors that actually represent the state and the Commonwealth. That so they can't really. There's no such thing as a private prosecutor.
So
if that makes any sense.
you're like, let me if I can bring it into Gettysburg terms, the prosecutor is like a park ranger that works for the government,
Right.
and you are like a licensed guide who's basically given a blessing to defend a defendant.
That's a fairly good analogy, sure.
it? Okay.
I mean, we're not doing the same job. Obviously, we're on opposite. We have different roles in the system. One
Sure.
tries to put, a case together, and
Yeah.
one tries to defend against that case.
And I'm not saying rangers and guides are
Adversarial,
opposed to
yeah,
each other.
sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
I think that's a fair analogy. Sure. I'm not. My personal contract, I just happen to have it. It doesn't mean every attorney has a contract to provide employed services for a county or a municipality. I just happen to have one, but there's nothing in that contract that prohibits me from working my own practice as well.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Let me break it down even simpler than that.
Simpler, go.
Thank you.
In My Cousin Vinny, the part of Veronica is played by Joe Pesci.
Okay.
Oh man, I wish I saw that movie recently. I would throw in
I'm
some
trying
kind
to
of line, but
remember.
it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
I'm trying to remember
the
that.
Utes,
Oh yeah, the Utes.
the two Utes.
But he won. He won the case, right?
Well, sure.
He did. Yeah,
All right, well then I'll
yeah.
take it. I'll be Joe Pesci any day.
There we
then.
go.
There we go. Hey guys.
We got a little guest in the studio here,
I don't know that he's little.
Geoff Caravella. Some of you might remember Geoff from last year, the summer shows that we did on the battlefield. Geoff was kind of in the peanut gallery several times. Didn't do a lot of talking. Once in a while he would get the mic, but I would refer to him off mic and he would say something or whatever. But Geoff's back now for 2 months. He's Airbnb-ing a place here, and that's wonderful. That's what that's the kind of people we want coming here. The ones that leave. You know,
Preferably after they leave their money and then they also
right.
leave. Yeah, I got
leave
you.
your money and come back next year. That's what we like, right, Geoff?
We try and come back more and more often.
I know, and I'm trying to convince Geoff to.
You really are a Gettysburg local now.
Why? Because I don't want anybody coming here.
Yeah,
to move.
exactly.
Yeah, I know. Well, Bendersville, ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking of moving here, Bendersville is a beautiful area.
Good luck.
You should go, and you should make exorbitant offers on people's houses and get them out.
I'll sell you one right now.
Do you want to join us, Geoff?
Sure.
Okay. Where's the head? You got the headset there?
There's
we got a headset. No. The one with the mic on it.
What's up, man? How are you?
Having fun.
Jeff, okay. Everybody's falling down. Everything is okay. We'll be all right. I'll look at while they're getting all set up here. I'll see what people are saying here. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, don't forget this Monday. No, sorry. Why did I say Monday? This Saturday is our second Get Out of the Car tour of the season. Should be interesting. We've got a lot of people signed up.
Thanks for
so
remembering.
Far. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I wasn't sure if you were ever going to get around to that.
It's funny. I didn't even write it on my list. Jesus. It just came out.
Oh, yeah, by the way, we're doing a tour on Saturday. All right, guys.
Eric and Louis Trott and I on, was that Sunday morning or Saturday morning?
Yeah, it was yesterday morning, yeah.
Was yesterday Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
We went walking through the area that we're going to be doing the tour on.
And my boots are still wet.
Mine are too.
Yeah.
I put them on my radiator because they were leather and I didn't want to ruin them in the dryer, so I just put them on the radiator. A little damp this morning, but yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff. I haven't turned you up yet. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, there's a little bit damp, but anyway, we walked around in the rain yesterday. Veronica almost ran me over, and it was a lot of fun.
For walking in the road,
yes.
giving
Try
me a good
harder
target. Yeah,
I think you hit the brake when you meant to hit the gas.
yeah.
And so we got wet. It was wet, but we walked it. We think we're going to have an interesting time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to tell you this. Bring the proper footwear and pantaloons for walking in grass. There's a path, supposedly, but it didn't look like they had mowed it yet this season. So we might be walking through some tall grass, or we might not. But either way, we are going to be walking through some grass. So make sure that you don't wear flip-flops or something you're going to get cut up. And Frank, I don't care. You want to wear flip-flops? You want to be that guy? Go ahead. Wear flip-flops. Wear Crocs. Eric's going to do it.
I'll be in flip-flops.
Eric wears flip-flops.
Eric's not going to wear
Flip-flops and short. Yes, I probably will.
You are not going to wear flip-flops. If you wear flip-flops, I'm going to laugh at all the blood.
All the blood from what?
From all of those razor grass blades.
What are you talking about?
Hello, exactly.
Don't encourage him, Marky Mark.
I made it through last year in mostly flip-flops with minimal cuts.
Yeah. I didn't
Minimal
get any.
cuts.
Yeah, well, we didn't really go off the pavement last year. Okay? Remember that? You said, I'm afraid of the pavement, I have flip-flops. Or afraid of the grass, I have flip-flops. That's what you said to me. And so we never went off. I offered to give you another pair of shoes. You said, nah, I like flip-flops. Anyway, you wear what you want to wear, ladies and gentlemen, but you've been warned. You've been warned. Did Baker have a lot of ticks on her?
None.
No ticks.
No, she just got her tick repellent.
Her tick bath. What?
I'm sorry. I was just catching up on the comments, and I think Chris Elliott.
The great Chris Elliott.
The great Chris Elliott was still talking about our last story about the car accident. He said maybe he was collecting for recycling. I like that. Beer bottles. I just saw it right now. I'm sorry.
I saw that,
Laughing
but I didn't know
yeah.
what it was a reference to, so I skipped it.
That's what I'm assuming he's talking about. That's
well, that would be funny
Yeah.
if he was.
Your Honor.
Oh, he's Chris Kelly.
Your Honor. Let me tell you what happened. It's a big misunderstanding here.
I was going to the recycling center.
And a deer ran out in front of me.
Yeah, a deer. You were going to the recycling center at 8:05 p.m.
Wanted to get the best prices
Yeah.
of the day. Everybody
Honor,
knows you get them the
please.
first. Yeah, right.
And promptly disappeared for 3 days.
It's never too late to save the environment, Your Honor.
Oh, that's funny.
Well,
Thank you, Chris. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good, Chris. Thank you. That was a good one. You know what? You know what? Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Dan Butterfield.
Chris Elliott gets a Dan Butterfield. Chris, let's go through our list of prizes here and see what you get. Oh, Chris, this is a second prize for Chris. Wait, we need to have a rule. After this, we're going to have a rule.
You just make this shit up as we go
I know.
along
We're
You can only be
developing
so
a
funny,
show
Chris.
here.
Are there rules
then you start
here?
showing us up.
for prizes once every 30 days. But this is this is the first and only and last exception that we're going to make. Chris Elliott, you have a choice. I'm going to have your address memorized soon. You have a choice.
He says no. Please save for another.
Oh, all right.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Chris Elliott.
See, I love this community.
It's
Honestly,
a great
God,
group of
it
people.
really is. It really is.
Yep. Except for Geoff.
Yeah, he was being quiet.
So only so many miracles.
Geoff and I and his new to me girlfriend went out to dinner on Friday.
It was a great time.
I loved her. Immediately fell in love with her. She and I bonded over mocking him,
There was some good,
and he couldn't keep up.
very witty.
Understand. Sometimes all you can do is sit back and just let Matt go. And
You
it's-
need to
yeah,
know
that's-
when you're not the funniest in the room.
That's
Yeah.
true. You're right.
And you weren't.
No. She does think you're one of the funniest in the world.
She is one of the funniest people that I've met in a long time. Yeah. Oh, I'm serious. She had me laughing.
Yep.
Immediately. I liked her.
Good.
I was smitten.
Well, we needed to follow up. You were very impressed with her birthday present for me.
Yes.
We needed to make sure,
She got him, what was it?
it's an old-fashioned color print of Culp's Hill.
Of Culp's Hill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like one of those early tourists.
And how long were you dating at that point?
Just 2 months.
2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a keeper.
That is a keeper.
Yeah. In fact, that's what I texted you when you sent me the picture.
Yes.
And you said your girlfriend got it, and I said, "Wow, that's a keeper." But I meant the picture,
He meant the
not the
painting.
girlfriend. Yeah.
I thought he meant girlfriend.
Well, yeah, I'm going for girlfriend at this point. Wait, I'm in her corner already. Does she like history, or did she just know that you really like it and that was something you would enjoy?
The idea was I was going to do a month here. We both wanted out of the city, and you've known that.
Yeah.
She wanted out of the city. Our leases ended around the same time. I'm like, listen, I'm going to Gettysburg. She's a little more normal than I am. And she goes, listen, I want to go, but like I want to feel settled. You know what I mean? So like, can we do it for 2 months?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you don't have to sell me on 2.
Yeah.
Wow,
You know,
nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was really went from May and June.
So this is a woman who gets you the painting for your birthday after 2 months, and then you guys decide you're going to come down here for I'm sorry, yeah, you're going to come down here for 2 months, and while we were talking, she was asking me questions about the battle and things like that, and she genuinely seemed interested to learn, if not necessarily because she's interested in this stuff, but because it's important to you. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yes.
And good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Very lucky man.
That's awesome. I'm excited to meet her at some point. Yeah.
We're trying to balance. She's really like the Peter Jackson World War I documentary.
Wow.
So
They came
she's
from
just-
nothing.
she's
What was
just-
it called?
They shall not.
They
go
shall
away.
not have died in vain.
So she's on a World War I bug.
Right, she's not.
She's
she
she is
is.
on World War I, but
Yeah.
now we're here. So
Right, and now she'll get into this.
and you
There's
did a
World
really
War I
great.
history here.
Matt's got such a creative mind. He was really able to kind of put a storyline together for the outbreak of the battle that really stood out to her. And it was.
Did it make sense to her?
Yeah, it trumped
Okay,
my
good.
explanation.
Well, it was,
because you
No,
had
wait,
different
was it-
characters' voices. Like every soldier had a voice and a tone.
well, not every soldier, but every
general.
Wait. Are you
Everybody
talking
we
about
t-
the podcast?
No, the
this is a
discussion at-
conversation.
yeah.
And it was
At
it was a
delivery.
legit like history
I was laughing.
explanation.
It
It
was-
wasn't something he made up. Like
No,
he's
I
known
throw
to do.
humor. I throw humor in
Oh, okay.
to make a point, but no, it was all. I mean, I didn't use like actual quotes, but I would say, like, so General Pettigrew's like, General Heath, I don't think we should go in there, like, and then whatever, I would go back and forth and make these silly voices and stuff like that. But it worked for her. It got through to her, and that's the point. You got to know your audience, folks. Got to know
Correct.
your audience. So, yeah, that's good. We had a good time. Delicious food. I'm not going to tell you where we went. Did we say where we went? Don't
I
say
sneaked it in.
You sucked it.
I don't know if anybody caught it. Did I say it?
No,
I
didn't-
don't know.
didn't
Well,
catch
don't
either
say
of
it.
You could
Don't-
give hints, and then maybe since
No.
you've got a book, whoever guesses,
I don't
the
want
secret poll.
I don't know. I don't want people to know about this because this is where you go when there are tourists all over the place, and this is where you go and you don't get away. Don't say it.
Carlisle.
No.
Well played, Eric.
There's no time.
That is a good point. You could go to another town, but no. This is a secret little place. I mean, I should, so that they stay in business. I should let people know about it. But I don't want to wait 45 minutes.
You can work an arrangement
I
with
wonder
them.
if I've been there.
You like sponsorship?
Yeah. Not with me. Yeah, you, me, and Waylon went there last year.
Did we?
Yep. Just once. We went there. Yep. I remember it now. I do.
Trip down memory lane.
But yeah, no, we went there. It's a great place. I'll tell you what.
Friendlies.
Yes, that's it. Friendlies.
Do we know what's up with when Pickett's Buffet will open up?
I've heard that it's not going.
Oh, it's so terrible.
I've heard that too, and I don't know for sure.
I've heard that they're considering selling the building, which would make sense because it's been over a year now that they've been closed.
Yeah.
Like completely closed.
Yeah. They didn't do the partial thing or anything. Like the Chinese buffet in town at least had sit down
General
service,
Lee's buffet.
Takeout.
Yes, General Lee's buffet, yes. No, I don't know. But now to see that as opposed to Camp Letterman, that would be the property for for people to try to get the trust to get.
Sure.
Because
it just makes sense. You're encroaching
moving
more.
up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The great thing about Pickett's Buffet is if you overindulged, you can just walk across Pickett's Shard.
That's true. You can get some
burn
exercise.
It off. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I went a little too overboard there.
Yeah.
Better
Let's
walk
go
it
walk
off.
on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you could walk down to like the guide station or, like the bathrooms. I thought that's where you were headed. I'm like, that was pretty far.
So too.
But I can see why you'd think that. We know what happens to you at Pickett's Buffet.
Right. I don't walk, man. I go, as fast as I move.
That's funny. Oh boy! All right, let's see what anybody saying anything interesting tonight here in the chat area there. Here, the ticks. Bring bug spray and watch out for velociraptors. No kidding.
Matt, say hi to Sarah. She just tuned in.
Oh, hey Sarah, we were just talking about you.
Hi, Sarah.
All bad. It's true. We did. So what do you guys, are you guys coming to the tour on Monday?
Oh, yeah.
On May? Why do I keep saying on Monday?
Saturday.
On Saturday.
Saturday,
On
yeah.
Saturday.
Well, you've been looking forward to Monday because you had a big, milestone this weekend with your taxes.
Yeah,
So you're probably looking forward to Monday for a long time.
I have been, yes.
Is it complete?
I did my taxes on Saturday, and it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Refund or Even?
Even.
Wow.
Yeah, even Steven.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Amen.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Wow.
Good job, Matt.
Yeah, baby.
Planning.
Wait till you get audited.
No, you get audited when you have the refunds.
Yeah.
That's the red flags. So yeah, that was my exciting week, and it really didn't take me that long. Last night, a friend and I went out to dinner because my friend's mother has passed away, and my mother's in New Jersey, and I sent a letter to her that made her cry, and that is always my goal when it comes to nice things, is to make people cry. And so I did that on Friday, and she got it on Friday, and she called me and everything. So my Mother's Day obligations were done for 5 years. That bought me 5 years. And so we went out. We were like, well, let's go to dinner. So we could try to go to this seafood place out in Thomasville. But of course, it's
Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day. So we said, well, let's take a crapshoot here, and then we'll see if we can get a table. We couldn't without a reservation. Fine, we understand. There were places that we passed along the way. So I said, let's just go to this other place. Now, I'm driving. She's following, right? So we get to Abbottstown, and that's where the Altman House is. And I've never been there. I've always wanted to try it. So we go through the square, and I pull over to the side of the road in the first block off the square, and I say, you think the Altman House would be busy? And she's like, yeah, I think it would be busy. And I said, okay. And then meanwhile, I look in front of me, and there's a place called Hofbrauhaus.
Yeah, the German place.
Yeah. I'd never heard of this place. I've never noticed it before because I'd never stopped there, right? And I go, well, what about this place? She's like, I don't know, let's try it out. So we go in. It's like bingo just let out because there was all these blue hairs in the restaurant area, right? And we're like, oh man. But then we go into the bar. It was interesting.
What was the decor like?
1972. Remember that scene in Goodfellas when they just did the Lufthansa heist and they're having the party at the bar, and everybody comes in, their wives are wearing mink coats, and they just bought a Cadillac, and De Niro's yelling at everybody. Remember the way that bar looked?
Yeah.
That's the way it looked.
Interesting.
And it was.
For
it was
a German
something.
bar. That's but yeah.
Yeah.
Flashback, like throwback.
But the food was delicious.
Who would be if you had to do Goodfellas impressions, who would your character be? If you had to be a guy from the film.
Corpse number 2.
Yeah, corpse number 2, or Paulie when he's eating the hot dog.
Oh, yeah?
And he doesn't, or not the hot dog, but the sausage sandwich, because he doesn't say a word. He just sits there. You know.
Oh, that's good.
I used to do.
He practices. They practice.
We used to be obsessed with that movie, and I was the one that did the De Niro. And then one of my friends did Pesci, and then the other one did Ray Liotta. None of us did them well, but we pretended that we were doing them well.
If you had to cast an actor from Goodfellas for the next great Gettysburg film, who would you put in, and who would he play?
I don't think there were a lot of Italians.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, yeah. Joe Pesci would
You
play.
could do who's the guy? Gibraldi, whatever.
Garibaldi?
Yeah, Garibaldi, thank you.
Well, he wasn't here.
No.
Yeah, not a lot of Italians.
Well, there's Giuseppe Bucaleone, and in the third over there, and we could get him. He could play that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think anybody in that movie could be cast.
Ray could come off as not necessarily being very Italian looking.
But he's I don't know. They're all too old.
I mean, they could be green.
Well, I was going to say,
Lee.
we could make, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but even Lee wasn't that old.
No, Lee just looked old.
But Leota's not that old.
Leota's like
mid-
92.
mid-50s now.
He's like 70.
No way.
No, Leota's got to be in his mid to late 60s. Go ahead, look it up. I'll
Ray
tell
Liotta.
because if you think he's in his mid 50s, I'm only 42, so that means he's not much older than me.
Oh, you're right. He was born in 1954, so he's in his mid-60s.
He's
Thank you.
66.
66.
I was
So green.
I was waiting for the total there. I was like, I don't know. What does that mean?
I'm just staring right at him.
Yeah.
I'm like, and
Yeah, what does that mean?
what's your point?
Numbers,
Older.
please.
Paul Arrett, yes, there was a change to the meeting place for this weekend's tour. We're going to meet at the 82nd Illinois Monument on West Howard Avenue now.
Correct.
Yeah.
We had to change it to that because, originally I thought it was going to be on Barlow's Knoll, but then
Yeah, no, we're not talking
not doing
about
that.
Barlow's division at all.
no, Barlow can suck an egg. He's not getting our attention this time.
All right, for the non-experts in the group, what exactly does the 82nd Illinois Monument look like so that we can be on the lookout for where to meet?
It looks like a suppository.
Kind of. Yeah, interestingly enough.
Yeah, it does.
Hello, exactly!
It's like if you had an obelisk and you made it cylindrical. That's what it would look like.
like a suppository.
But wait a minute.
You want me to Google suppository for you?
No. But I am having a flashback to one of the conversations you had about the Vermont Monument and the proctology regiment or whatever you were. I distinctly remember that. Now I can't drive past that.
Wasn't that this?
No, that's on. That's like by the angle or whatever. Yeah.
That looks more like a suppository than the one we're going to. Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
I know
now,
which one
and
you're
I'm
talking
like,
about.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
This might be the moment I realize I've been following Matt too long. It's been nice, guys. It's been good.
Really, just go to Howard Avenue between Carlisle Road and Mummasburg Road.
Yeah, you'll
wherever
see
you
us.
find the group of people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That'll
And there's
be it.
parking on. You can park on the road there, like off the side.
Well-
If you really if you're coming to this one, you probably need to come about a half an hour early so you can find a legal parking.
And you know what I would recommend you do is if you want to I don't know how you would do this, but if you talk to people who are going ahead of time, like online, you find maybe they're in this group right now, and you talk to. Try to meet somewhere where you can leave your car and carpool.
Sounds good.
If you could take 3 or 4 people in your car, take 3 or 4 people in your car. And then that way we just minimize the number of cars there. And those of you who do bring your cars, please make sure that you park where legal. It's a 2-way road, so don't be parking too much, in the road, but don't park on the grass. It's, there's going to be lines that you can park in. So you might have to be spread out. to park where illegal, but just look for signs that say no parking. If it says no parking, don't park there. And then we will all congregate around the 82nd Illinois.
It's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably a quarter of a mile from the Oak Ridge Tower, maybe slightly farther, but probably about a quarter of a mile. And about the same from Barlow's Knoll.
Yeah, I was going to say it's equidistant from both.
But on the west end of Howard Avenue, there are no lined parking spaces.
There's an Illinois monument between the Peace Light and the bridge.
We were parked in them.
Oh, I didn't see any lines on the road.
They're very faint.
Oh, fair enough.
What about
So there's like two, but
it might be a little bit of a hike, but I think you said there's over 70 people already, something like that. But if there's going to be
700.
700. I'm sorry, a lot of cars. What about down by the Harrisburg Community College, like
sure,
past
you could
Weiss
park,
or something?
You could
yeah.
you could park over there by or in the Weiss parking lot. You
Weiss
could park
parking lot, yeah.
On Carlisle Street and just walk up.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to walk a bit to get to where we're going to meet, but I mean, it's better than getting a ticket by parking like an a-hole on Howard Avenue.
Sure.
So, get there early. And don't let this dissuade you from coming, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. You're going to see a part of the battlefield that most people, I would imagine, most of you even, have only really driven through, but not gotten out and explored on foot. And we did it the other day, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. And, I mean, it was wet. We were wet. That wasn't fun. But it was still cool to be able to go out there where we were and see all that we see and saw.
Well, it was raining when we went out. It's not supposed to rain on Saturday.
No. Saturday's going to be nice. So that would be that'd be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. There
I
you
feel
go.
bad
Pete
now.
Herman trying to get a carpool going. Good, Pete.
I feel like I'm dissuading people with that, but I think the point is there is parking to be had. Just make sure you look for appropriate parking.
Right.
That's the point. There's plenty of parking. Just make sure you look for the appropriate spots.
Yeah, and that might mean that the later it gets, the closer to 10 it gets, you might have to park further away from where we're meeting because the closer spots have been taken. But
basically, don't want to have to park by Willoughby Run and walk all the way over. That's like what you want to avoid.
Yeah, you want to avoid doing that. And like Eric said, you could even go into town on Carlisle Street. There's parking spaces there. I don't think there are meters up there, right?
I don't think they're out that far. Like once you cross, what is that, Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get north of Lincoln, there's no parking meters.
I believe you were correct, Eric. I believe you're correct.
There are on the south side of that intersection, but there's also that boulevard there that I'm pretty sure you can park
Broadway.
on. Yeah, Broadway that runs east-west.
Yeah. That's very nice there.
I think. I can't say for sure, but I think.
And by the way, this tour is now officially sponsored by the Farnsworth House.
Oh, awesome.
So we will, thank you. Thank you to the Farnsworth House. Yes. Oh, the audience. They're a little late because I had a clap. But thank you to the Farnsworth House for sponsoring this. And what we're going to do is go have lunch over there at 1 o'clock. You're all welcome. I'm going to need to get a head count beforehand to send her a number so she can get the space reserved for us. Last time we had 50 people on the tour and 36 went to Mason-Dixon, and that was great. Thank you all for coming and doing that. That made me feel good that he was making well more than he was charged by us, and that's the name of the game is everybody, making a living. Yep. You got to make a living. Otherwise, you'll be dying. Yeah, supporting each other and the businesses in this town that we love and you want to come and visit. And you got to make sure that the town and the businesses are here for you to come to. And so therefore, whenever you can, please support them. Geoff, what else? What's new with you? You got anything new?
So I took a walk down towards a really great battlefield guide. First time I'd ever seen him. I'll make sure I say his name correctly. Michael Rupert.
Okay.
Whoa. I know Mike. He's a Pittsburgh guy, so I got to take
Yes.
some credit for him.
Oh, you made him?
No, I didn't make him, but I mean, we're basically brother and sister because we came from Pittsburgh.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Super nice guy. He's actually part of the Greater Pittsburgh Civil War Roundtable
cool.
and studied very hard, passed, and he's awesome. He's a good tour guide.
He was really fun. I was going to go read Coddington in the field yesterday. Coddington's like my last book. Every book I've read, I get super excited about. And Eric, in a way, kind of might have ruined Coddington for me because he says, you don't really need to read it because you've read every book that's been written after Coddington.
Right.
So there's nothing new in it.
Right.
Did I say that?
You said something to that.
Let's just take the credit, Eric. Take the credit.
I call it the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it because I have to in my mind. And I decided, you know what? The things I never do, I don't go to the museums very often. So I went to museums, I bought some books, and then I went to the visitor center. I'm like, let me see if there's any guides. And I just went up, I said, where are you really into right now? Or where's your favorite part of the battlefield? I said, I have no agenda. Just blow my mind. And it was really cool. He had a very cool perspective on the Bliss Farm.
Yeah, nice.
Which we had a great walk there last fall.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
His perspective on it was unique in the sense that he we saw it and was like very tactical. Here's what happened at the Bliss Farm. Here is some of the history of the farm before and after. And he kind of took a broader overview of its impact on the whole battle. So I'm like, dude, you sucked me right in. Talking about wet grass, we went to walk down there, and it was just, it was a marsh. And and then I'm like, there's so many stony hills in between Little Round Top and Seminary Ridge. I'm like, which one's the actual damn stony hill they talk about in the book? And we did some time on, the actual stony hill.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
That's awesome.
It was fun for me. It was like, because in these next 2 months, I'm like, what's going to be the thing I really want to get into while I'm here?
Yeah.
So
good.
That was my new.
I like that. I like that you go up to a guide and you say, what are you into recently?
Yeah.
And you just go.
Yeah.
That's a great way to do it, I think.
I enjoyed it.
And I'm sure the guides like it too.
He looked happy.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, finally I can do what I want to do.
He was fun. He's like talking to someone I'm like, I think the biggest challenge, and I'm not an expert by any means, is really breaking down the battle into something that's easy to digest for somebody who doesn't have a million questions already. Like, what the heck actually happened? It's like sometimes you just need to say, Union guys saw this ground on the first day. They thought it was good ground, and they fought the Confederates there. And at the end of the day, they pushed back through the town. Like, you can't just say that.
No. Yeah, you can.
You can.
You can.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So now you're going to, while you're here for these 2 months, are you going to try to go and take a tour with a guide once a week or?
I think I could actually.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
Well, this week you got a free one with
This
us.
one's my most excited
Yes,
one I
well,
have.
of course.
And then we have the big one coming up weekend of June 18th as
June
well.
18th,
which I'm
that's
excited
a big
about.
one because you got people from all over the country coming in for
Yep.
that. Yeah. So that'll be good.
I think it will ruin East Cavalry Battlefield for me because it's the last place I go where I don't know anything. So when I go to East Cavalry Battlefield, it's the place that reminds me of what Gettysburg felt like before my mind was filled with, prejudice or contempt or ideas. And I just sit there by the Michigan Monument and I take it all in, and it's that little reminder of the mystery of it all.
It's
and the
untouched and
It's untouched
pure.
intellectually because I really don't know much. Custer, Jeb Stuart, Charge. Everybody says that even if he broke through, the Confederates broke through, they wouldn't have done anything.
Right.
As far as that, I have no opinion on East Cavalry Battlefield.
Yeah.
So in a month, I'll lose that innocence.
Well, no, it'll just be the start of learning about it. And
You went through a brief infatuation with the East Cavalry Battlefield at some point, right?
No, more Custer.
Custer.
In general. General Custer in general. And it started, of course, with his death, and then I worked my way back. But so East Cavalry Field was interesting to me for that reason. But I like to go out there simply because nobody's there.
Right.
I just want to get away from people, but I want to go on the battlefield. So I'll go out there, and it's nice out there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes at sunset, it's really, I should do some sunset videos from there because it's really picturesque with the Rummel Farm there, and it's pretty cool. So I like to go out there for that. But I wasn't, I don't know. The more I read about the action there, the more I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was the BFD, but Custer, so.
I picked up the colored.
I would like to, if Jim is still in there, I would like to do a tour with him.
Well, so this was an interesting book I grabbed the other day that I'd never had.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the colored map. And
color map.
Yes.
Yes, you got to watch your mouth. All right, and so look at this. So you got the maps. See?
Yep.
Okay. Now, what's the point?
With color.
The maps with color.
It's a little easier to digest than the Delano maps.
Jim said, "Let's do it."
All right,
He's
Jim.
still in here.
Good.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. It's basic.
But it's also, if you look at East Cavalry Battlefield, it's
Okay.
kind of like it might be as simple as I thought it was.
It might be as simple as you thought it was. Okay, where are we? Here we are. Well, yeah, I mean, wow, this is simple. That's it? Just one page?
I think there's like 4.
Oh. Okay, here we are. We're back to, yeah, okay. And Custer, and there's
While
Coach
you're looking through
Jenkins.
that,
Go
I know
ahead.
Jim Hessler, just suggested that some reading for that area of the field would be Eric Wittenberg's Protecting the Flanks.
Yes, have that book.
Yeah. But the Savas Beatty edition. I forget why he said that was important, but there's a specific reason why the Savas Beatty edition of the Protecting the Flanks.
Do you have the Wi-Fi information?
I don't. I'm not on that pay level yet.
Hopefully it's as
we
easy
had
to
a-
find as the pipeline's Wi-Fi information.
We had the Wi-Fi information around here somewhere.
The other thing that would be interesting is Brinkerhoff Ridge. There's got to be somebody, and if Hessler's listening, there's got to be somebody in the universe of Gettysburg
I'm sure.
experts who knows about Brinkerhoff Ridge. Because Fans was the one who made me, or Fonz.
Fonz.
Whatever. He talked, his theory on Culp's Hill and Cemetery Hill is that perhaps the Confederates would have broke through the Union line on Culp's Hill had they not had that division out there protecting the flank.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's got to know what happened down there. But it's all private property. So you can't really...
Well, I'm sure someone can tell you what happened there. You just have to stand in the middle of the road.
Right. I'm just saying, there's got to... Hessler, if you're listening, who's the authority on Brinkerhoff Ridge?
I would imagine he could do a pretty good job on that. I don't know, but I'm guessing I'm pretty sure he could do a good job on
day
that.
2, for sure. Not because that's... I would want to know day 2 Brinkerhoff Ridge.
Okay. Ask him.
We'll ask him. Hessler.
Ask him.
We'll ask a guide.
Sure, he'll answer you.
Jim says the Savas Beatty edition of Protecting the Flanks is better maps are included and a little bit better editing.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled by the simplicity, he says. It's still Custer.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's what maybe. Well, maybe Jim, do you have any time in the next 2 months to take us out on a tour of East Cavalry Field? You would do that, right, Veronica?
Heck yeah, absolutely.
Jeff, you?
Oh, yeah.
Eric, I know you hate cavalry.
No, I'm cool.
Remember last year when the cavalry participated in the reenactment, but there was no cavalry there during the battle?
Well, interestingly
Was that the
enough,
one you walked off on?
And yeah, that was. Interestingly enough, that happened again this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to put out a call for bubble wrap because Mike Lent said he's coming to the tour and he's in for the Farnsworth House, but only if there's no accident on the tour. So please, everyone, if you have extra bubble wraps floating around, our best buddy Mike might be in need of that on Saturday.
He could use a new suit.
We would love to see him at the Farnsworth House. That's for sure.
We gotta get him
July looks good.
protected. We gotta protect Mike.
Yeah.
We'll just wrap him in cotton batting.
Maybe if we just walk 3 other people, one walks behind him and 2 on either side of him, and just kind of stabilize him and make sure. And then we'll have one go straight ahead of him.
Maybe some of the fly swatter just in case something gets out of control. We got all contingencies. We got to take care of Mike.
All hands on deck.
We got your back, brother.
Right,
We love
and
you,
we
Mike.
don't want to have Well, somebody's got to look for gopher holes. Geoff, you do that.
Okay.
And you get ahead of Mike and look. If you break your ankle, then we'll know to steer Mike out of the way.
Yeah, we got all kind of
Can't break
volunteers.
my
Paul
ankle.
Errett's already volunteering to be a medic. We got all kinds of.
Oh, there we go.
We got you, Michael.
Jim says, no time, never. July looks good.
Nice.
Oh, damn it. You're not going to be here, Geoff. When are you leaving?
I might stay through the first week in July.
Why don't you just move here?
Well, I do have to go back to Connecticut. My brother's having his first child in June, so after they do all their...
Is this your first?
It's my first.
Yeah, because it's just you and your brother,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Cool.
In an Italian family, there's lots of like cousins, and people throw out the term niece and
they're
nephew
all
and
named
uncle.
Peter or Paulie.
Yeah,
Or,
I had 2 Uncle Vitos, no joke.
of course you do.
I don't think they were really uncles either. But this will be my...
Okay, go ahead.
This will be my first real niece.
Your first real niece,
Yes.
as opposed to the fake ones.
Right, like
Well, what do you mean real niece, as opposed to
like
what?
my brother's child.
Oh,
You know, like your cousins
so
or your friends,
blood
his
cousins.
uncle.
Blood
and-
related.
Yeah.
Your cousins in an Italian family, everybody's uncle.
Yeah,
But it's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My good friend Brian the other day said, I just want to let you know that, Charlie's has a lot of uncles right now, and we're realizing we're using the term
Too much,
Too
too
much,
liberally.
but you made the short list for
Oh, nice.
who will keep as uncles. So I've got that
Oh,
going.
good. Oh.
Yeah.
I taught my niece and nephew to just call me favorite.
Favorite.
Yeah. They call me
Favorite
uncle.
Matt.
They call me uncle. I go, no. My name is Favorite. And then they didn't know. Well, once my nephew learned what favorite meant, he stopped calling me that. But yeah. But my niece, she's still got a couple of years before she learns. So
Before she figures it
before
out.
she figures it out.
So take it for a ride.
Well, that's good. So wait, what's your point? So he's going to have the baby. So you want to go back and see the baby? That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
But
you don't
anybody-
need to live back there, though.
No, we just need here's my problem. I was telling Matt this the other day. Every time, there's like 3 things that happen. I have the time to look at the place, and I'm in Gettysburg, and I don't necessarily have like the money to make a really quick move. Or I've got the money, and I have no time to go to Gettysburg, or there's nothing on the market.
Yeah.
It hasn't converged yet.
Yeah.
Have you been looking recently? Seriously?
I've looked off and on for like 2 years.
But now you have a lady friend,
Yeah.
and she seems to like it down here. She grew up in the country, so she's not unused to this area. She's had it with Manhattan, so have you. Connecticut's like Manhattan Light, so why do you want to do that? I know family, yada, 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 but you're not that far away from them.
No, it's just-
and now they could come and visit you guys down here. It's a little place for the kids to escape to, and you buy like 10 or 20 acres somewhere in the woods, and the kids
Yes.
go and play in adventures and get eaten by bears, and then it's something for them to remember. And
well, what
How are they
town's the
going to
best
remember
town?
if they get eaten by fucking bears?
well, not entirely eaten, but, part of
Partially, just to make the
Mauled.
impression.
yeah.
just a
Oh,
mauling.
okay.
Near
So the
field.
Like in The
leftovers will
Revenant.
the leftovers will
Yeah, Revenant.
have happy memories.
Tossed around like George Glass.
First
or
time
whatever
I
his
was
name
attacked by an animal and survived
was
was in
Hugh Glass.
Gettysburg.
What was the?
Well, it would be the first time I was attacked by an animal was in Gettysburg. It's like a notch on the belt.
Oh,
For
yeah,
the
yeah,
kid.
yeah, for the kid,
Oh,
for the kid,
fair
yeah.
enough.
And then they go the rest of their life thinking that any moment now the next attack's going to happen.
And
Because
get
that's
it.
what happens
Yeah.
at their young age.
Oh, sure, you
think
get
it's normal.
traumatized. It's
Yeah.
everywhere, yeah. That's awful.
We have Will Thomas highly recommending a completely unplanned move to town. So there
Yeah.
you go. That's one
Yeah.
vote. Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. Plan a little bit.
little carefree, which is, you only live
Well,
once,
this is
right?
pretty carefree.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, tell them what you did. Tell them what
Which
you did.
time?
No, now. Like, what? You're down here for 2 months. You and your girlfriend, you both had separate apartments,
Yes.
and your leases were up around the same time, and you both had it with Manhattan, and you said, F this shithole, and you decided you're going to come down here. You're going to Airbnb a
Airbnb.
cabin for
Fayetteville.
2. Don't tell
Fayetteville.
everybody.
Oh,
They're going to
okay.
come and find you.
It's a little out of the way.
It's a
I mean,
little out of
it's
the
not
way.
Gettysburg.
It's
Gettysburg.
not
It's not as close as I'm
Right.
used to.
Yeah.
17 minutes from the first day, 27 minutes from here.
Yeah.
That's
And that's where the other times I've done my short-term stays, I'm like 8 minutes. So if I get a call and it ends early,
Yeah.
and then I have like 2 hours of no calls, I can come sit here in 8 minutes, sit here, and then get back for the next calls.
Yeah.
Or, so that,
But Fayetteville has some nice. What's there? What's the park right there? Michaud or
Yeah,
Michaud,
something with an M.
like that. Yeah.
It seems like a
some nice
big
areas,
town
yeah.
because I drive like 12 minutes that way, and then it says I'm actually in Fayetteville. So I think it's like a 30-minute town.
Yeah, no,
right.
it's you know.
It covers a big area.
Yeah.
Fayetteville's, I think, technically Franklin County at that point, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it
I
is.
think, okay, I'm going to say,
Some nice golf courses.
are there?
Fun because they're close.
Yeah. Oh, isn't there one right on 30?
There's two. Very
There's
close.
two.
There's two. There's Caledonia and then,
Caledonia.
and then another one that almost sounds like that.
Caledonia.
Very nice people.
Vicky,
Gallons.
Mike Stretch thinks you're great.
I appreciate that.
It's Veronica, Mike.
That's all right,
not
Mike.
Vicky.
I answered
But
to
we're
pretty
gonna call her
much
Vicky
anything.
from now.
Confuse the hell out of everybody.
Vicky.
It's all right. I dig it.
Vicky.
Vicky's actually
Veronica.
a good radio
Vicky.
name.
Yeah, Vicky Bertensky. I like that.
But Veronica's like a good weather name.
Okay.
There's a movie about that.
Veronica Corningstone.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
jeez. Must have missed that.
No, Anchorman.
Character.
The
I gotcha.
character. That's right.
Got a couple hi Vickies. Hi guys. And Corey Russo is also seconding Will's spontaneous move to
There we go.
Gettysburg.
I
So
mean, I
it's-
really don't need the wrist twisted too much.
we're doing it though.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be very honest and very serious with you right now. A lot of people would love to live here. Corey being one of them, but he says that he's going to plan to retire here. Well, by then it'll be too late. He won't be able to walk.
Yeah.
It's like what a waste. But you, on the other hand, you have situated yourself. You and Sarah have both situated yourself to really be free to do this for 2 months. You can work from anywhere, right? I mean, WTF?
It's pretty good. We're really trying to work down the Gettysburg Regional Airport rates to Teterboro. I started looking at those for like if meetings come up. I'm like,
God.
it's not really like.
Well, then
It's like
just get your own
4K
plane.
for-
Get your own little
Get your own
plane.
plane. It'll be a
That might be
long-term
better.
investment.
Yeah, they have. I hear them cutting the engine over the visitor center all the time.
And I
for
look at the
lessons.
planes just sitting there the whole time, like no one's taking it.
No
Let's
one's
just
taking
do
it.
a reasonable rate.
Let me borrow it. I got to go to Teterboro.
Yeah.
I would not want to fly into Teterboro.
That's your hometown.
I know. Well, not my hometown, but my home area. But I know where it is.
Yeah.
I'd crash because it's right. Like Route 46 is like right on the other side of the fence at the end of the runway.
Right.
So I would be. See, when I used to play Microsoft Flight Simulator, I could never land. I could take off beautifully. Beautiful takeoffs. Oh, my God. Like butter. But landing, on the other hand.
I will put some extra time into doing that. I think that's pretty important.
I know.
I
but
could be wrong.
The
but,
takeoffs were more fun.
Oh, okay.
Just those throttles going all the way up, and you feel that. Well, you hear that jet sound, and you remember what it feels like. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But the landing, yeah, my people never made it to St. Martin.
Oh no.
We always crashed in the landing.
You and Amelia.
Jeez.
Me and Amelia never made it to St. Martin.
Wah, wah.
What the hell are you talking about? So what I'm saying is there's a lot of people that would love to move here, and you have an opportunity to do it. And
Well, who's the great Addressing Gettysburg fan who's in real estate? There's got to be someone out there.
we don't have
They should
any.
close me.
we don't have
I'm
any.
a great prospect out here.
I don't
I'll
know.
sell you my house.
There you go. It's for sale by owner.
Done
Right.
and done. So that's so easy,
Yeah,
Jeff.
see how easy life is down
Put
here?
it out there.
Yeah. Life's easy down in Gettysburg.
And not experiencing the troubles from the great chicken shortage that we're having right now.
What chicken?
You know there's a chicken shortage?
Well,
in the market?
we have farms around
Amongst
here.
the
You can-
shortages?
You can go and get chicken and eggs and all sorts of things. There's one farm here that has skirt steak, which I've been looking for ever since I moved back.
They have
Where?
the skirt
I'm not
steak
telling
or
you.
the cows that make
no,
it?
Fine.
both.
Oh.
That's fine.
I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell you on the air.
Oh, okay.
I'll mute the microphones. I'll tell you right now. The place on 116. Oh, God. The place on 116. The place on 116. I think it's called Weikert's. The one that has the...
Oh, the Weichert farm.
Yeah. Not
We know
the
about
Weichert
that.
farm. But Weikert's farm, they have eggs and they have beef and stuff like that out there. They were at the farmer's market last year.
I did go through Tim's farm book yesterday.
Did you?
Very nice. Good for the backpack.
Someone has. I'm going back to the. I'm trying to get you
Yeah.
here. So I'm sticking on that topic. But Mike Daniels just posted that there's a fully furnished B&B for sale right off the Diamond. You could live here.
What one?
I don't know.
Oh, it's
Maybe-
got to be, right
Right off the Diamond.
I'm drawing a
It's not
blank.
that. It's not the one that
It's
had
not
the
the
Mexican
Swope House.
restaurant.
No, it can't
No, that's
be the
not a
Swope.
B&B.
It wasn't.
No,
Okay.
Can't be the Swope.
it's not the Swope because they're kind of like.
You're talking about the one that used to be El Costeño?
Yeah. Isn't
No.
there a property connected to that or something?
So it's an
He's not
Airbnb
selling.
that's
I went in
trying
to
to
go
sell.
look at that, actually.
If we can get the Wi-Fi
There's a
here, we could start
possibility.
looking up.
There we go. Well,
I
Mike,
don't
if
know.
you're still listening, do you remember the name, or can you give us a little bit more information? Because we are right on the verge of getting Geoff to buy this place. So hurry up and tell us.
Do you take Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, Paul says that property taxes in PA are going way up. Yeah.
Worse in Connecticut?
Well, listen. Whatever.
Yeah, we're treading.
I'm not even
treading
getting into
lightly.
that.
No. It's a losing battle.
Just
in
start
Pennsylvania.
electing people who can manage your money better. That's never going to happen.
I mean,
because
can
those
we-
people don't want to run for office.
Can
That's
we
the
get
problem.
a pothole filled?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that'd be great. You know that alleyway behind it's Racehorse Alley, but it's the one behind Food 101 and the bank
Yeah.
and everything. That thing looks like any given street in Berlin at the end of the war.
But we need taxes for our roads.
Yeah, well, what have we been giving you? Jerks.
Well, part of the
Well,
problem with
property-
the borough is they settled a bunch of lawsuits because of police misconduct recently,
Yeah.
so that
Ooh.
doesn't help.
No,
really?
it doesn't
Yeah.
help.
I
So
didn't
now
know
we got to
that.
raise the taxes because you can't hire people that can't stop beating people up.
Bill, you're
Or
thinking of the
I think
Schultz
there was one that
house.
was like a sex harassment of or something. There was another
Oh, my.
lawsuit too about
Oh,
one
boy.
of the, yeah,
There's
yeah.
always.
That was your,
Oh, my.
yeah.
Oh, there's always lawsuits.
Bill, you're thinking of the Schultz house, not Red Patch. Red Patch
yeah.
just got finished, or more or less finished, remodeling, and I don't think he's selling anytime soon.
There you go. You can
Lots
buy
of
the
opportunity.
buy the Schultz house.
Yeah, $900,000. Go for it.
I could Airbnb that.
You should.
I could stay at the Cotton
Or just
Motel
make
when I'm
the
putting.
Cotton Motel.
You know that one, right?
the Cotton Motel.
That's right.
It's not the Cotton Motel.
What is it?
The Colton.
No, you know.
So when you buy it, you can name it the Cotton. And
We
just,
don't
you
want
can
to
do
use
whatever
those
you want.
words.
Oh boy.
You think you know something?
You should buy the Schultz house and make it a B&B.
Will Eric be my broker?
I can't be your
He
broker.
can't be a broker.
Oh.
He could just sell
I'm
you
not
his
licensed.
house
Yeah, exactly.
by owner. So- but
Oh,
you
I
should
would
do
look-
that.
Do you think you could put the Wi-Fi password in here so I can start looking at this nice house?
I don't know what it
It's
is.
like some jumbling of numbers, and I can't find the paper.
My old computer auto-connected. I had to get a new one.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah. It's
if
gotta
you
be.
can find that little scrap of paper,
It used to be right under the monitor
it
here.
was over there.
Oh, boy. Things have changed.
Yeah, and it's gone. I'm sure.
Oh boy,
Gone
Why
are
don't
the
you-
days.
Don't you have a hotspot on your phone?
It's not working, but I did get one of those hotspots, literal one,
Okay.
with the SIM card, and I bought an antenna because one of my dreams for the summer is I want to go get a Civil War tent and have an office on the field.
That card doesn't have the password on it? Or is that just the...
I mean, you do have the T-Mobile Wi-Fi
Because it is...
You can try that if you want, but
Try that one, Jeff.
activated. Activate by.
Where's the Gaslight Inn? That was recently sold. Maybe that's what he's
Yeah,
thinking of.
that's right on York Street too.
Okay,
That's-
maybe
yeah.
that's what it says. It was recently sold. The one across from the Rupp House is for sale, but they only want $2.3 million. So
That's it?
That's not it.
What is
A
that,
mere
the
bag
brick
of
house?
shells.
Is that one the brick house?
yeah. Yes, the brick house.
Does my mic sound weird? No. Okay.
No.
All right.
My-
It did.
Oh, what about that White House that's for sale up on Doubleday Avenue? It's been
The Doubleday
The
Inn?
Doubleday
no,
Inn.
no, it's not the end.
Oh,
it's the one
across
like
from
a
the
little
end.
bit,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
well, it's a little bit down on the end, like on the opposite end.
Yeah,
of
I know what
that-
you're talking about.
It's been for sale for a little while, but it's last I
Yeah.
know, just this week, it's still for sale, and it's literally on the battlefield.
It's, yeah.
Jeff doesn't care.
Jeff doesn't care.
Jeff's over
Trying to
it.
find the houses.
All right, we lost them.
I'm interested. I'm just Zillow's hard to Zillow in on. double day in.
Well, the point is, you don't have to buy the house right now on the show, but the point is that you should move here because you've put yourself into a situation that it's good. You made some good decisions career wise. You found a lady who's also done the same thing, and you guys are mobile.
Yeah.
This is nice.
You're footloose and fancy free.
And if we have to go back to the old way, I'm not no stranger to a red eye or two.
Yeah.
There you go.
Remember those good days?
I didn't when I was traveling back and forth across just part of the state looking for a house from the Pittsburgh area, right? It was only a 3.5 hour drive, but man, at first I went through this phase of excitement. I was out here every weekend, right? I'm looking at properties, and then I'm starting to get more and more depressed because I'm not really finding something I wanted. And that drive just got longer and longer and longer. Every time I had to go back and forth, it was... I was
because it was like a work trip almost. It wasn't for like the fun times,
right? And especially going back to Pittsburgh when I had my mind made up I was going to actually move here, right? Like the drive going back and working for a few days, and then coming back and to do it all over again and do laundry in the meantime was a not a red eye flight, but not too fun. All the same difference.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So. But what would you do? So, what about something off the wall like a camper or something that you could ultimately?
That seems like a really good
resell?
short term because
Sure.
there is some acreage for sale, and that's the type of thing.
There's
where,
about 30 acres on Route 30 that you can get your hands on. Historic ground.
Well, our friend Cameron, found a very nice property at a decent rate last year.
Well, that's his cousin's place.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Cam, yeah.
So it's easier.
How about if we're talking about the same Cam? He is a ranger with the National Mall right now.
Yes, he
How about that?
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Good job.
Cam.
Yeah. Got his foot in the door.
Part of his dream coming true right
Yeah,
there.
Yes.
honestly.
I know. He wanted to be an interpretive ranger here, and I said, well, nobody starts at the big times, kid. You gotta work your way up. You gotta go to other parks and stuff.
Right.
You don't start at Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, well, I said, no.
National Mall is a pretty good starting point.
It is a good starting point.
I'd have to think, yeah.
Yeah. Not
and
as-
he's
not
a
as
great
cool as
expert
here.
on West Virginia.
He loves West Virginia. He's from West Virginia.
Yep.
Home state pride.
He's got relatives that fought in this one and then that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
East
the
Cemetery Hill.
7th West Virginia. Other ones that I can't remember the names of.
But that was the big one, East Cemetery.
Well, that was the big. No, I'm saying that was the one regiment that I can remember that he said he had relatives in.
Right.
Yeah, and he's
how many West Virginia regiments were at Gettysburg?
700.
I thought it was 702. See, I told you I don't know this stuff.
Roughly 700.
People, not 700 regiments.
No, regiments. There were 700 regiments. I don't know how many there were. Like one or two. There was a cavalry one. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But there was a couple. But he had them in other units that weren't here too.
Right.
Yeah. So that's. But anyway, that's good for him.
Yeah, very
It's
exciting.
nice to see these things happen for people that are related to things that we are doing, and it has nothing to do with us. We didn't. But it's still nice to see things happen. Mm-hmm. Like Mike Lentz, recovering from all of his injuries. We like to see that. We like to see we don't like to see the injuries. We like to see the
Right,
recovery.
The recovery. It might be the time now to tell Mike that his attempt to single-handedly keep the medical industry in business, you can let up on the gas there, Mike.
Yeah. I don't know
You
if you
did your
paid
part,
attention
man.
to the last year, Mike, but they don't need your help.
Yeah.
They're busy.
He's a trooper, though. Any one of those injuries would have put me on my rear end for a good couple months. So
Yeah.
we just fought through it. And obviously, all joking aside, Mike is an awesome guy, studying to become an LBG hopefully in the future. And he really puts his heart and soul into it. And it's nice to see that he's able to recover from those setbacks and keep on studying and pursuing what he wants to do. So
That's the thing about Gettysnerd is that you once this place bites you and it gets its venom in you, you can't stop.
yeah.
Nothing really can say. It's almost like an anti-venom. Like nothing can stop you, and it just whatever happens, you break an ankle, you twist an ankle, you fall into an iced tea vat. Whatever happens to you. Didn't he fall into an iced tea vat?
Oh,
I don't want to talk about his
No.
accident history unless he's here. But
Iced tea vat.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my.
I think
I'm thinking of taxes in Europe and a wrapper.
Not value-added tax. No.
what was that Seth Rogen movie about falling into the pickle juice vat or something? That's the only thing I can. It was goofy,
Yeah.
but
You ever
that's the only
noticed
thing
that
I
in
can
Michigan?
think.
You drive, there's that part of Michigan where you're just like driving by miles of like pickle
Oh no.
towers and the whole thing stinks because of the vinegar.
Oh wow.
Oh,
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been to that part of Michigan. I
No.
don't know.
Somewhere near Grand Rapids, I think.
The vinegar belt?
Yeah.
Never heard of it. That smells.
Other useless knowledge.
Does it make you
Vinegar
cough?
is transported on the same types of ships that transport petroleum.
Oh wow.
Tankers. They
Okay.
put vinegar inside of a tank on a ship. Now you can't
No, it's
put
not the
you
same
can't put
one
the
as-
gas in
right,
it because that's a
right,
problem.
right,
But,
right.
you
But
know,
same type of.
Yes,
It's not the same actual ones. It's just the same type.
correct.
Well, there you go. Let's see. Let's go through the people's comments here. Let's see if we didn't miss anything before we head on out here for the evening. I'm getting a little bit of hunger. Anybody else? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Let's see. Where did we leave off here? Property taxes. Okay, I read that one there. The BB in the woods, read that one. In England, they drive on the left side of the road. In PA, we drive on what's left of the road.
Nice one, Zach. Nice one.
That's good. I like that, Zach. Hey, Zach.
Dan Butterfield.
Oh, Zach gets the Dan Butterfield today. I've got to tell you, that one made us laugh. That was a real laugh there. So, Zach, here are your choices, and I'll just give it to you the next time I see you. We don't need your address because you're somewhat local enough. Here we have Confederates in the Attic, a copy that actually, Veronica had 3 of them, and I said, well, I'm going to
I did.
take them, and I'll give a couple away and keep one for myself. All right, and then what else have we got here? Oh my, what a treasure trove we've got in this place. We're running out of stickers here. I got to get more from the great Ty DeWitt, designer of these stickers. Okay, now we'll see how professors fight.
Oh, that's a good one.
All righty, that's beautiful. Look at that. Look at the detail. Can you see the detail? So focus, baby, focus. All right, whatever. You can't see it.
Some of them fight longer than others.
Here is an ass. This is actually from the, what is it called? Mule sauce. It's a hot sauce, somehow that's affiliated with these stickers. I don't understand it, but whatever. I got a sticker of a mule. So you got how professors fight. And then we also have General Hood Advance.
Ooh.
Okay. And here we go. Look at this. Unbelievable. You can only get it here. Mule sauce coasters. All right, 2 of
It
them.
looks like Zach's going for the words. Looks like
He's going for the book?
the book. It looks
All right, Confederates in the Attic going to Zach. Good job, Zachy. Make sure you let me know when you're coming to town next, and I'll grab it, or you come by the studio and you can get it, Zach. Thank you for playing, and good job getting your Dan Butterfield. All right. Near the Oak Ridge Tower, okay, blah, 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 et cetera, so on and so forth. The other one's too high.
See, that's weird. You can see back way further than me. The last comment I can see is Paul Arrett saying the B&B and let me try again. Let me try that one more time.
Keep going.
The B&B in the woods, right above Zach's.
It might be because this is my page. And I might have I don't know.
See, I'm not on the pay grade yet. I don't have the Wi-Fi. I don't have the access.
Here's another. Paul Arrett says something. West Virginia welcomes you. They are giving money to first-time buyers in West Virginia.
Whoa.
Hey, man, Harper's Ferry.
Yeah, that's a great
Get
place.
a house up on the mountain
Very
there,
nice
looking
view.
over and I'll come over all the time.
70 minutes from here?
No, 50.
Wow.
It's a mere hop, skip, and a jump. 12,000. Wait a second. What? Are they giving you 12? Hold on. 3 hours every day. Only an hour from Gettysburg. What are they giving $12,000 to buy a house there? Oh, shit, Paul. Why don't you keep this a secret? Well, now everybody's going to go and do it. You're going to get all the good houses. Not that many relatives for 700. Let's see here. Kudos to Mike. Okay, Zach Anders, great. I need the attic one for my studying. Okay, good. Thank you. We'll reach out and bring some extra books I have as well. Oh, yeah. Let's do a book swap if you want. Sure. It's an hour. Yes, they are giving $12,000 for a first-time buyer. Well, is it first-time home buyers in general or first-time West Virginia home buyers? Or does it really matter? I don't know. Probably doesn't really matter. Well, maybe it does. Well, shit, man.
I
I'm trying
suspect
to look that up.
it's new people buying in West Virginia.
Huh?
I suspect it's new people buying in West
Yeah.
Virginia.
So you could have bought a house for the first time elsewhere, but they want you to come to West Virginia. Well, I'm telling you, it's a beautiful state up there.
I mean, John
down there.
Denver makes you want to go.
I mean, yeah, seriously. Which song is that?
West Virginia.
Country roads.
Yeah.
Oh my
Take me
God.
home.
All right. Well, it's time for me to go.
Yeah,
so
it's time for us all to go, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't we play a little song in honor of West Virginia? Well, no, sorry, that was a Yankee state. Never mind. We'll just go. How's that sound? We're
Fair
just gonna
enough.
go and that's it. Jeff, thanks for coming by. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of you
Yes, we
now
will.
that you're here for 2 months, and we'll be doing these rather frequently. Thank you all for listening or watching. And Veronica, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Veronica.
Yeah.
Told you there is no time
Oh, leave her alone. Leave her alone, Robert E. Lee. God.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, but no, thanks for coming and doing this. I hope you had a good time. I think you did great.
Oh, thank
There's
you.
nothing to be nervous about, right?
No.
It's fun.
You guys don't bite. Yeah, it's not that
That's fun and it's easy.
Yeah.
So we'll have you back on again there.
Awesome.
That's the decision has been made. I made it for you.
Thanks.
And that is it. Everybody, have a good one. I hope to see you all this Saturday. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. And we'll talk to you next time.
Hello, exactly.